each other at all. Then one Sunday night, KZW DJ George Gamart played a song from our demo tape on the Rock and Roll Alternative, and actually hearing my band on the radio gave me a sudden sense of possibility. The next day I took it upon myself to go out and hustle some gigs to play. In May of '85, I walked into the theater gallery space and introduced myself to Russell Hobbs. Without even listening to our demo tape, he said, "Yeah, man, come on down. You can play after one of our art openings. We're having one in 3 weeks." I immediately went home to call the guys and tell them the good news about our gig. It felt good to be contributing more than just fake bass parts. The singer looked and dropped a bomb on my head. He was breaking up the band. Fuck, what was I going to tell this guy at the art gallery? This was fucked up. I rehearsed my story on the drive back downtown. Dude, I don't know how to tell you this. Russell didn't even give it a second thought. Wow, bummer, man. Why don't you just stay here and hang out and book the bands that we have in our background? To this day, I have no idea what prompted him to say that. No one had ever offered me a job doing anything. And I was waiting around to see if this guy was going to change his mind. I went to Target and bought a calendar notebook and a bag of big ballpoint pens and got to work that night. Within a month, I pieced together a schedule that included basically every musician I knew. I was born at Baylor Hospital in 1962, a slick shot and a rock away from 2808 Commerce Street. My personal trajectory started on the outskirts of Deep Ellum and then it returned there 23 years later. Life was starting over again. For once I felt useful. The theater gallery was my new home. Russ and I stayed up late, cutting and pasting artwork for show posters by hand. It wasn't uncommon to see us at the Kinko's on Greenville Avenue at 3 in the morning, rubbing off letterpress stickers, running off letters and numbers and random oddly juxtaposed imagery for our monthly calendars. And things were a lot different in 1985. An 18-year-old kid could legally buy alcohol. Ecstasy was everywhere. People who had never taken drugs before didn't think twice about experimenting with it because the pills were still legal. The overall effect of the drug had on our community was tangible and real. Musicians were excited about supporting each other's bands. It wasn't that much of a stretch to see the guys in rigor mortis hanging out with the guys at a New Bohemian show. And vice versa. Everybody loved everybody else. We were all creating and participating in something that was new and important. In July of that year, I moved into the building. I threw myself into the lifestyle, full on, 24/7. Butthole surfers, the replacements, bad brains, suicidal tendencies, who's your dude, meat puppets, everyone came through at the top of their game. Jane's Addiction, supporting a new record on Triple X Records, and the Flaming Lips, they make them drive down every 3 weeks. It was a great opportunity for local bands like 300 Hill, New Bohemians, and the Buckheads, amazing band from Plano, Shallow Rain. They all got to share a stage with national touring acts. It was also a place where the usual disconnect between artist and audience became non-existent. The bands and their fans hung out before and after shows, doing the kind of things that conservative Dallas didn't want young people to do. Island Records released a compilation album with theater gallery bands called The Sound of Deep Ellum. The Buckheads signed with a label of touring with Jane's Addiction. They even ended up opening for Neil Young at the LA Forum in front of 20,000 people. New Bohemians signed with Geffen and created an international profile for their music. They played on Saturday Night Live. Reverend Warren would go on to sign with Interscope. Our band, a Decadent Dub Team, landed a remix on The Sound of Deep Ellum and then on the movie Colors. Everybody was going nuts. The scene was no fluke. It was no freak accident. We were onto something. I lasted about 2 years at Theater Gallery before leaving to go help open Club Dada and start this new booking gig at the Longhorn. Things got really weird at TG after I left. Russell stopped drinking and smoking pot and became a born-again Christian. The Theater Gallery and Profit Bar both stopped selling alcohol. If you go to House of Blues to see a show, you're pretty much a customer, Russell said the other day. But when you go to TG, you were part of this whole experience. I mean, it really did change lives. Everybody shared this organic endeavor. We were all affected by different ways. And in turn, we affected the community around us. It was a real transformation of culture. And 30 years after opening TG, Russell Hobbs, he's still doing his thing. The commitment to Dallas music, it's still there. He continued to demonstrate the courage of his convictions as a concert promoter and keeper of the flame for the road. But personally, I've watched the area go from being a subversive creating uprising to a calculated con job. From blank canvas to a Xerox machine and back again. And I've wondered what must have happened during that time to make the pendulum swing so dramatically over the last 35 years. I think it's disingenuous to pin the hopes and dreams of our entire city solely on one neighborhood. Our artists need to be able to play anywhere, under any circumstances, no matter what they do. During the 80s, the building at 2709 Elm Street sat empty. Huge glass windows in the front allowed anyone to see the ascending staircase that went straight up the middle of the room to the balcony on the second tier. I used to walk over from theater down right over to the Elm Street. There was nothing going on over there, but I loved this building. I could tell that something about this building. It had been a ballroom or something in the 30s. The owner always left the light on, and a small glimpse made me wonder about the history of the room. Surely it was a dance hall during the Depression, and for those of us who had promoted concerts and ran nightclubs during the 80s, the room seemed too good to be true, probably too expensive to run and turn a profit, too beautiful to even think about. But when a public relations whiz kid named Jessica Clark woke me up one morning in the spring of 1990 and asked if I'd meet her for breakfast, I could hear the sense of urgency in her voice. Over grits and toast at the Gold Rush Cafe, she informed me that a 24-year-old kid named Brian Davis, youngest son of notorious Fort Worth millionaire Cullen Davis Jr., had just leased the Elm Street building. Brian's father was once accused of murdering the lover of his estranged second wife, but was later absolved after a lengthy and controversial trial. Cullen Davis was our O.J. Simpson, our Robert Blake, and now his son, flush with daddy's cash, was stumbling into business in Deep Ellum. Davis had just moved back from Louisiana. He had gone to LSU. He had no experience as a business owner, yet he had tentative plans to open a Cajun-themed restaurant. He had hired Jessica to handle publicity for his new venture, and she enlisted me to convince him to use the space as a live music venue instead. And apparently we pulled it off. We quickly assembled a skeletal staff of close friends, including Davis's college roommate, David Webb, bartenders Jeff Lane and Chris Howell, manager Big Steve Shine, door girl Melina Pearson, and an inexperienced sound engineer named Russell Turns. Trees, which was named for the support beams that looked like tree trunks, was a more organic enterprise during those early years. The interior was made of bricks and plywood, and the walls were decorated with autographed drum heads collected by a bartender named Craig DeClough. A roll-up metal door directly behind the stage was often left open during concerts. A raging thunderstorm on Elm Street provided an unforgettable backdrop for a memorable solo acoustic performance by former Husker Du frontman Bob Moore. He was touring behind a record called Black Sheets at night. Dozens of kids stood outside on the sidewalk and watched from backstage as Radiohead performed Creep in Dallas for the first time. Passers-by could see nimbus clouds of secondhand weed smoke billowing from the club during sets by De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest and Ghetto Boys and Cypress Hill. And because of this open door design, anything that happened to Trees set the tone for the neighborhood on any given night. The timing for the 900 capacity venue couldn't have been better. Grunge music was poised to take over mainstream rock radio. Gangster rap was filtering into middle America. The local music scene was in full swing. The Butt Pets, Toadies, Course of Empire, New Bohemians, Rigor Mortis, Funland, Tripping Daisy, MC 900 for Jesus, Reverend Ward Heat, they'd all signed major label record deals. Trees was quickly becoming their hometown venue of choice. Jessica and I had nurtured an ongoing working relationship with concert promoters Mark Lee and Danny Eaton, 462 Productions, and that meant artists like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, PJ Harvey, Elliott Smith, Afghan Wigs, Guided by Voices, Marilyn Manson. They all made their Dallas debut performances at Baby Vans at Trees. And Trees had had his share of trouble, of course. Mazzy Star unplugged their instruments and abruptly walked off stage 4 songs into their set after someone tossed a beer bottle at singer Hope Sandoval. Afghan Wigs frontman Greg Dooley almost got his ass kicked for propositioning a woman from the stage while she was standing there next to her boyfriend. Cop Shoot Cop bassist Todd A. left his gear behind and ran off the stage through the side door in a delirious, dope-sick effort to get a fix. And who could forget the anniversary of the death of local gringos frontman Pepe Lopez? Reverend Ward Heat hosted a seance which turned into a drunken open-mind confessional featuring Dookie, the late smack-addicted cross-dressing saxophonist for the Daylights, and a twisted testimonial from born-again club owner Russell Howes. Things turned surreal as Hank Tolliver from Bar of Soap seized the microphone and drunkenly recited the lyrics to the Gringos' Nurture My Pig, while Turnus ran his voice through an octave divider, a frequency pitch generator. It sounded like Darth Vader channeling the chipmunks inside Carlsbad Cavern. Chairs and empty beer bottles were thrown. Bewildered audience members screamed at the stage and each other. And somewhere Pepe kicked back with a can of Schaefer's and smiled down at all. Still, none of it ever matched the show on October 19th, 1991. We were offered Nirvana in August of that year. The group was still relatively unknown at the time, and they had established a cult following in the Northwest. Geffen was really excited. 2 weeks before, after signing the paperwork, Smells Like Teen Spirit blown up everywhere. That night, there were as many people outside the club as there were stuffed inside. When the band arrived for soundcheck that afternoon, Monty, their mullet-headed road manager, went ballistic because there wasn't a barricade in front of the stage, and it was too late to build or rent one, so we put security guards in front of it. Dave and Chris were really nice. They were cooperative guys. Novoselic seemed a little tired. Grohl was on fire, just hilarious. But Kurt Cobain had drank an entire bottle of cough syrup, and he was basically being led around by the nose by the local Geffen promo person. He was barely able to walk or even stand up. So when Trees opened that night, a huge push of people bum rushed the front door. This sent Monty the Mullet into another panic attack. The line of people stretched all the way down Good Latimer. Cars on M Street were honking their horns and blasted Nevermind. By the time Nirvana took the stage, almost 1,000 people were packed into our club. The smoke was dense. It was hotter than hell itself. 5 biker-looking guys were positioned in front of the stage. You could barely even see Nirvana. Still, lunatic kids managed to climb on stage and jump into the raging mosh pit. There was no controlling the crowd at all. During the 3rd song, Cobain threw a temper tantrum, took his guitar off and slammed it into the monitor console at stage right. He destroyed the console and left the band without a monitor mix on stage, so now they couldn't hear a thing. Creighton Curley, the monitor engineer and the owner of the console, stood there with a look of shock. He had never even heard Nirvana until that night. At this point, the security guys, they'd become more sympathetic to Creighton than to the band. One of the guys, a tattooed behemoth named Turner Scott Landbarker, turned around and looked at Kurt just as he waved his arm and implored the audience to jump on stage. He gave Kurt the finger and yelled, "Fuck you, dude." The band started playing this next song, and Kurt used Van Barken's back as a diving board to jump into the mosh pit. As the crowd pulled Kurt in every direction, he motioned to Van Barken to pull him back on stage. Turner was having none of that. He pushed Kurt back in the crowd. Cobain swung his guitar around and slammed it into the side of Turner's head. Blood flew everywhere. The audience finally pushed Kurt back onto the stage. He fell to his knees to get back up. As he rose, Van Barken slugged him in the side of the head, knocking him about 10 feet across the stage. Grohl jumped straight over the front of his drum kit, Novoselic tried to tackle the car. Then the bodies were strewn everywhere. Beer bottles were flying everywhere. Total mayhem in the audience. After a few minutes, an off-duty police officer escorted Frank Barker outside. Novoselic climbed off the stage and went out to look for him to make sure he was okay. Grohl wandered out to the back of the club. Cobain stood by himself on stage for 5 minutes, making a screeching, horrible noise with the guitar, seemingly waiting for the rest of the band members to come back and finish the show. Then he just heaved his guitar into the drum stack. This was not good. A 4-song set is not a concert. 5 more minutes went by and I realized unless I got the guys playing again, I'd have 1,000 very pissed off audience members. They started screaming, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Then I scrambled downstairs where I found the shirtless Grohl leaning on the pinball machine. I begged him to get back on stage. He said, no problem, find the other guys, I'll be right back up there. A couple of minutes later, I found Novoselic. I told him, man, please get back up there. His body was covered in Van Barker's blood. He told me to call an ambulance. I begged him to get back on stage. I'd make sure that Van Barker would be taken care of. Chris was pissed at Kurt, but he was willing to finish the show anyway. But where was Cobain? I looked everywhere, wading through the hundreds of arms and legs and bodies sprawled all over the place. I finally found him in a closet upstairs in the very back of the club. He was in there with this long-haired creep who was trying to give him drugs. Kurt was trying to hand-roll a cigarette, but he could barely move. I took it out of his hands. I rolled it in like 3 seconds. I put it in his mouth and I said, you, come with me. I dragged Cobain through the crowd. I pushed him back on stage. The 3 band members stood there looking at each other for like 5 minutes. Nobody wanted to start playing. I made it back up to the DJ booth where Robert Wolanski from the Dallas Observer was waiting for me. Man, what are you going to do? The crowd was getting anxious. It was almost they had brought them. The band had brought them there to take their money and then sold them with their faces. We both spied my CD copy of Nevermind. Wolanski was thinking the same thing that I was thinking. Whatever it takes to get this train back on track. It smells like Teen Spirit came blazing out of the PA at full volume. The crowd went straight bozo, throwing bottles and chairs, people diving on top of each other, all kinds of crazy shit. Monty, the road manager, came running to the DJs. What the fuck are you doing? I looked at him and said, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fucking band back on stage. Make them finish the show, motherfucker. He ran back downstage, climbed on stage, begged the band to start playing. Somehow they got it together. The rest of the show was great. The audience fell out of the building feeling like they witnessed a once-in-a-lifetime event. During the night, Trees was the heart of the neighborhood. The club was never tied to one particular style of music. The audience was filled with fresh faces every night. Big Steve had always instructed our staff as security people, before the Nirvana show anyway, to treat our customer gently and humanely. Jessica Clark did an incredible job of creating a public profile for the club and the local media, and she went on to become the manager of Cypress Hill. Other club employees went on to start their own record labels, jobs in recording studios and bands of their own. Trees was the place where we got our on-the-job training. Inspired us to music careers of our own. So if you grew up here, you heard it here first, no matter what it was. It was filtered through that unique sensibility. The city that killed JFK, the city that shot JR, the home of the Dallas Cowboys and Bonnie Clyde. It didn't matter if you were into the Beatles or Johnny Cash or Kraftwerk or NWA because you were here, just out of arm's reach in New York or Los Angeles or Nashville. This is where Led Zeppelin came to rehearse, where the Velvet Underground recorded a live album at a tiny club called the In the Cold, where Willie Nelson came to record Red-Headed Stranger, where David Crosby went to prison for smoking crack, and where Don Henley came to get sober and raise his kids. There isn't a specific Dallas sound, but our female artists have collectively sold over 80 million records. We've seen punk rock shows in tiny ice cream stores and barbershops, free concerts in Lee Park, huge festival events at the Cotton Bowl and AT&T Stadium. And there was something in there for everyone. Coach Lamar, our friends from KZBW. Listen to Paul Slater's show on KXT. Can't tell you how important KXT is these days. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming tonight, Sean.